Grandpa, is a full moon. Please tell us a story.
How blessed you are to seek out the wagging of an old man. Your father thinks that the wisdom of old is only of the days past. But I tell you this today, that you too might pass across to your grandchildren. Many years ago, in a clan named Obidzi was a blessed land of the gods, surrounded by rivers where the inhabitant has to fish daily for their survival. As a toddler, learn to walk. So it is for the inhabitants to know how to swim, because the majority depends on the rivers for survival. A day came when the river no longer produced abundant like before. Rather, people began to get drowned by the same river that sustained them. One day the prince of the land went with his aides to take his bath in the river, but none of them returned. The king summoned the elders in the land, and inquire for a way out of their predicament. They decided to consult the ageless mother that knows all. He sent out his most trusted elders with wisdom, and they embarked on the journey to the shrine of the ageless mother. It took them a full day to arrive, and they were so tired. They were offered food and shelter, but none did they accept except for cola, for their journey was more important to them. A priestess who is the mediator of the ageless mother consulted the all-knowing being, and seek revelation. But none was given to her. She became worried, for the goddess had never been silent on her before. She pleaded for answers, but none came forth. The elders were informed of the silence of the goddess, but they refused to go, for what use are they to return to their kingdom without answers? All night they kept vigil, and with one accord they meditated. This touched the heart of the priestess, and she did something that has never been heard of since the existence of time. She sacrificed her life in the altar of the ageless mother. Only then that the realm opened and her spirit traveled back in time into the kingdom of Obidzi in search of answers. She was shown a great abomination that was committed in the land. Two brothers who have gone fishing very late at night, when the moon was at its peak, encountered a beautiful maiden in the lonely river taking her bath. Her beauty was beyond human comprehension, and they took advantage of her. And out of tears, she cursed the land, before returning to where she came from. But she was rejected by her people and made destitute. In rage, she has sworn to lure men into her newfound home, where they will be subject to her till the end of time. The priestess reveals this to the next in line in the order of services to the great ageless mother, before joining her ancestors in the great beyond. When the problem has been uncovered, the elders were astonished and fell in grief. They inquire about a solution to appease the angry mermaid. Then the ageless mother intervened and revealed to her new priestess that the elder should go back to their land. They will find a fish with a golden ring inside its belly. The ring must be used to wed this mermaid. Then and only then will she be pleased and release her captives. Happily they journey home and informed the king of the outcome of their quest. The king immediately organized a fishing contest among all male youth on the land, and promised to give whoever succeed in finding the ring half of his kingdom and his beautiful princess too to marry. On hearing this, the male youth swings into action. Every day they toil the rivers with their nets, hooks, and baskets. Even though the fish have been scarce, but the amount of butchered fishes exported out from the clan was more than their previous sales, and traders were happy. The business was moving, for they will come to the riverbank and buy at a very cheap price and sell high. This went on for a while. Days turned to weeks, and the people slowly began to lose interest. Odinaka, the orphan boy, normally works in people's farms for survival. One day, on his way back from work, encountered an old widow washing breadfruit by the canal. It was getting late, and he offered to help her so she could finish on time before the sunset. The woman asked her why he chose to help her, because he is not just the only passer-by along this path. Odinaka replied that he could not withstand leaving her all alone since darkness is fast approaching. The woman thanked him so much for his kindness. Odinaka sank the basket of breadfruit in the water as usual. Fishes rushed to feed from the washed-out particles. He put in his hand to wash the breadfruit, but was bitten by a catfish. He swung his finger, and behold, the fish fall out on dry land. The old woman smiled, and asked Odinaka to open up the fish belly. Behold the golden ring. She instructed him to take it to the king, but Odinaka refused, that he can't marry a mermaid. But the old woman explained to him, yes, it may sound scary, but the mermaid only needs to answer his first wife, while he enjoys matrimony with the princess as his second wife. Odinaka married the mermaid and the princess, and the king gave him half of his kingdom. The prince returned with all the mermaid took hostage. If you are Odinaka, would you accept to marry the mermaid that brought him fortune? Comment on the comment section.